And hello, everybody. Welcome back to LFC News. It's been 2 days. I hope the news has kind of settled with you now that Mo Salah is going to be leaving the football club this summer. Of course, some great memories with Salah, and yeah, sad to see it obviously coming to an end. But I do feel Salah will just be the first of many that do leave this summer. And I do think we're going to see a lot of incoming. I think we're going to see a lot of movement this summer, despite it being a World Cup summer. I think there's going to be a lot of movement, incomings and outgoings coming from Anfield, and of course the manager position as well. But Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein have provided a major update with regard to a player that we are apparently tracking that could be the sort of first name in through the door come the summer. So I want to discuss quite a few bits and pieces in today's video, guys. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. Now, I just want to start with this story. Yesterday, we reported to you about Arne Slot. Now, this is an interesting one because it comes from Bild, a good German source. And actually, Alex Hasse, who this story actually comes from, was the first guy to break the Florian Wirtz news to Liverpool back in the summer. So a trusted journalist. And as you know, if you've been following me for a while, I don't bring any old crap to the table. I like to only discuss real sources. And he said last night that Arne Slot stands on the verge of a sack at Liverpool, with Xabi Alonso waiting in the wings to replace him. Liverpool's 10th league defeat of the season, a loss to Brighton at the weekend, has sealed Slot's fate at Anfield. He will leave in the summer, and Liverpool have avoided an immediate dismissal only because their Champions League rivals have also dropped points. So he's saying that Arne Slot will likely leave in the summer. Now, again, it comes from Alex Hasse, a good source. Again, German source, understands quite a lot with regard to that, and was the guy that broke the Florian Wirtz news. So yeah, there is some definite truth in this. But of course, as the results go on, or the lack of results go on, then of course it's going to look more likely of that fate. Because when is enough enough? There will be a point where FSG have to make a decision over the manager's future. And I would watch the Champions League. If we go out of the Champions League in the next round, I think it's done. I genuinely do, because it's unacceptable for Liverpool to not qualify for European spaces. And European spaces, Conference League, isn't even guaranteed for this football club this season. So again, watch this space with regard to this. Now, as stated at the start, I do believe it's going to be a summer quite busy for incomings as well, or movement in the managerial position as well, a bit of a shake-up. But we need new players. Now, Fabrizio Romano has came out and said that Liverpool is still tracking Yan Diomande. They're yet to decide who is the winger, or it could be two in the summer transfer window that they want to add to the squad. All these clubs are yet to receive an indication from Leipzig about the price. Fabrizio Romano said that. But then we also got David Ornstein, who came out and said that Liverpool have got one of the most advanced recruitment teams around. Most of their work speaks for itself. They are good. They have got good operators. They just gave us a hint of what they would like to do because they were in the market for Semenyo. I think if its release clause had been in place last summer, then they could have achieved it. That was my understanding, but it was only active in January. When you look around at who they might be, they like Yan Diomande, RB Leipzig. That's a player that they have been keen on for some time. When I've looked into it previously, the finances have been out of reach or deemed out of reach, and they're not the only club in that regard. From that way, it's described to me, the process really ramps up now, which insinuates it wasn't already advanced, but I think Liverpool will have made their checks for some time. So what we're looking at, guys, as we approach the summer transfer window, albeit still a couple of months away, obviously the club will be preparing. It does seem as though Yan Diomande keeps being a name that keeps on creeping up time and time again, and is a player that we could look to go for in the summer. Again, it makes sense if you're looking at, we were trying to go in for Semenyo, that didn't happen. Yan Diomande, looking at him, but that's come from two good transfer sources, in Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. So definitely watch this space. In other news, the end of an era at Liverpool has arrived in a manner few could have predicted. Mohamed Salah is set to leave the club not at the natural expiration of his contract, but through a carefully negotiated agreement that will see him walk away from Anfield on a free transfer, despite still having a full year remaining on his deal.
For a player of Salah's stature, output, and global value, it is a decision that underlines just how complex and, at times, fractured the relationship between club and player has become behind the scenes. What makes this development even more striking is its timing. It has been less than a year since Liverpool publicly celebrated Salah signing a 2-year extension, a deal that appeared to secure his future until 2027. Yet, in a dramatic twist, the Egyptian has now confirmed that this campaign, his 9th in red, will be his last. The seeds of this departure were sown much earlier than many realised, tracing back to his explosive remarks following his omission from the starting lineup against Leeds United last year. In a moment of rare public frustration, Salah suggested that "someone doesn't want me in the club," a comment that sent shockwaves through supporters and hinted at deeper tensions within the hierarchy. From that point, the situation quietly escalated. Rather than a drawn-out transfer saga or a late window scramble, both parties moved towards a controlled resolution. Liverpool and Salah have now reached a mutual agreement to amend his contract, effectively bringing forward his departure to the end of the current season. The club's official stance confirms that the forward has reached an agreement with the Reds to conclude his Anfield journey in May, a decision that closes one of the most successful chapters in modern Liverpool history. Financially, the implications are significant. By allowing Salah to leave for free, Liverpool forfeit the opportunity to command a substantial transfer fee for one of world football's most marketable stars. However, the trade-off lies in the immediate relief to their wage structure. Following his most recent contract extension, Salah became the highest paid player in the club's history, with a package reportedly worth up to £25 million per year, close to £480,000 per week when bonuses are included. Even his base salary is believed to exceed the £350,000 a week figure agreed in 2022. Removing that financial commitment gives Liverpool considerable flexibility as they prepare for the next phase of their squad rebuild. Reports from journalist Lewis Steele suggest that discussions over this mutual exit began shortly after Salah's public frustrations came to light, with his representatives initiating talks aimed at finding a solution that suited all parties. What has followed is not a sudden decision, but the culmination of months of negotiation and strategic planning. Attention now inevitably turns to what comes next for Salah, and intriguingly, there is no clear answer. His agent, Rami Abbas Isa, moved quickly to shut down speculation, insisting that no decision has been made regarding his client's future. In a blunt message, he stated, "We do not know where Mohamed will play next season. This also means that no one else knows. Beware of the click-whoring attention seekers." Despite that, links to the Saudi Pro League, particularly with Al Hilal, refuse to go away, with the financial power of Saudi football making such a move an ever-present possibility. Yet, as a soon-to-be free agent, Salah's options extend far beyond one destination. Europe's elite clubs will undoubtedly be monitoring the situation closely, aware that a player of his caliber becoming available without a transfer fee represents a rare market opportunity. For Liverpool, the focus shifts toward reinvention. For Salah, it is the beginning of an uncertain but undoubtedly high-profile next chapter. One thing, however, is beyond doubt. His departure will leave a void that is as symbolic as it is tactical, marking the true end of a legendary Anfield era. Ultimately, this is more than just a contract situation. It is the closing act of one of the most transformative spells in Liverpool's modern history. Mohamed Salah departs not in decline, nor in controversy alone, but as a player who redefined expectations, shattered records, and helped restore the club to the summit of English and European football. Yet the manner of his exit adds a layer of intrigue that will linger long after he is gone. A mutual agreement, a free transfer, and unresolved tensions behind the scenes all point to a relationship that, while immensely successful on the pitch, may not have been as seamless off it. For Liverpool, the decision signals a clear shift toward the future, financially recalibrating and preparing for a new era. For Salah, it opens the door to a final major move in his career, one that will command global attention wherever it leads. As the curtain falls at Anfield, the focus will inevitably turn to replacements, rebuilds, and what comes next. But for now, the story belongs to Salah, a player whose legacy is already cemented, even as his next chapter remains unwritten. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.